saw recently a story of a Menahel who traveled to Argentina, and he asked the Menahel in Argentina if he can visit the school, each one of the classrooms. And yes, sure. So he went into the classroom, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, etc. When he concluded, the Argentinian principal asked him, what was this all about? What exactly were you looking for? Was this an inspection? So he said he had been in Yechidus before with the Rebbe prior to his trip. The Rebbe said, you're traveling to Argentina. I want you to go into every single classroom, and I want you to report back if the children are smiling. Interesting that to the Rebbe, what was most important was not the amount of students that were there, not how beautiful the room was, who the Magid Shurim were. Are the children in each of the classrooms smiling? Are they happy? Which is a good way to introduce this coming year, because it's extremely important that Talmidim be happy and proud of who they are and where they're studying and their whole situation. For the new Talmidim, it's not necessarily easy. There's a time of transition. And I believe we have a remarkable group of the Anhola and Elder Bochurim and Shluchim who will help you respond to every single need, every request, every question. And they're here to make sure that every single day you smile. There's a letter from the Rebbe from 1954 to a student who was unhappy in the school that he was studying in. And he says to the Rebbe, I want to leave this current school and go and study in Eretz Yisrael. It's a fascinating response that should be learned in its entirety, but just to share one point from the letter. The Rebbe says, I don't have to elaborate on the fact that the success or the lack thereof of a student in a moised, in an organization, is totally dependent on the student. Of course, the Yetzer Hara, the Rebbe says, attempts to find reasons why it didn't work, this teacher, that teacher, this situation, the physical building. There's all sorts of reasons. But the Rebbe says, of course, the moised that you're learning in was established by tremendous tzaddikim, and they put in a tremendous amount of energy into the moised, and therefore, you being there is where you need to be. And if you give in to the Yetzer Hara, and you leave and you go to another organization, you'll have, the next time you encounter the Yetzer Hara, you'll be weakened by the fact that you lost this battle. So make a hachlata right now. This is the place you're going to be. This is where you're going to make it happen. That's the idea of smiling, recognizing the Bashkacha Pratis you are spending this year in Yeshiva schools of Pittsburgh. This is the Zal that you're going to learn at Farbrengen. These are the Rabbeim and the Shluchim and the Elter Bochurim with whom you're going to interact. These are the Sidurim from which you're going to daven. This is it. And it's upon you to approach this with a healthy attitude, smiling every day, taking advantage of this opportunity. Hashem should bless you, bench you with much hatzlacha, and with the ksivach simateva, ashana tov mesukah.